If I had 1,000 tongues, I just could tell it all. You've been so good to me. And
what does a church look like that truly advances liberation?
What to do when confronted with the opportunity to either rebuild or create something brand new.
What are you on fire for? And why are you on fire?
You've been so good to me.
I'm not like the person from this morning sermon I ran inside.
The show is called A Burning Church, and it's very much still in development, but what we know of the story right now centers on the destruction of a church in present-day Alabama, which leads the community to investigate what it has been, what are the factors and the forces that led to its burning, as well as what it needs to be in the present to survive this moment of crisis, and then what it can or should be in the future.
A Burning Church is a musical about the relationship between American culture and capital C church culture.
Nobody has to ever really know.
Okay, oh my gosh, Nehemiah. That song is so good.
We have a collaboration that is one of my favorite collaborations that I'm in artistically right now, because we all have this kind of understanding that the best idea in the room has to win, which is a kind of theater-making cliche, but we really, really abide by it. To me, it's that kind of collision of ideas from different forces that makes the best product, and I think we're really invested in that, which is something that I love.
We haven't really talked about it in a while, but I'm just wondering, a little bit of a check-in on how we're feeling versus where we were. Was that just January of this year?
We did it in February. We're really starting to hone in on what's juicy about each of these stories and then how they all are interrelated, right? These are the three moments of transformation in the life of this church in the last 30 years, and that's why we're talking about these specific moments.
The show began life as something very different, and when it landed here, Zhailon asked me to consider how I can participate in this project without being an anthropologist about it. And I suppose that set me off on this pseudo-spiritual journey that I'm on right now, which involves reading that Bible cover to cover and reading radical theology and generally just trying to find the limit of how much Christianity can influence me without me identifying as a Christian. And I don't know the answer to that, but I can say that as I'm trying to get a deeper political consciousness, I'm really inspired right now by this intersection between Christianity and leftism, which seems to be in some way at the heart of the show.
We hope to be creating a musical that takes the lives of everyday church folk and takes them seriously by putting them up against the harsh light of an elevated stage and really interrogating belief. So radical theology is a theology that I was first introduced to through the works of a theologian named Peter Rollins. There is belief as the story you tell yourself about yourself, and then there is the belief that is attached to who you actually are and what you actually do in the world. And that those two things, the story you tell yourself about yourself and the way you actually behave, can often be in conflict. And that radical theology comes about to test the stories you tell yourself about yourself up against the light of what you say you actually truly believe. And so we think that that is a very fascinating litmus test of uncovering what it is that not only these characters truly believe and want and need, but also what we as a country truly believe and want and need.
Call 911, they call 911, having emergency. The poor.
One of the things that I love most about this collaboration is that the ways that we practice our ideals together is exciting. I think one of the core questions of this work is, what is it that lights a fire from within? What lights a fire from outside? And how do we harness that fire? After the global uprisings this year, these questions suddenly were no longer metaphorical.
God's gonna build up a church where the steeple never drops. God's gonna build up a church where the roof is never
As much
leaking.
as America is raised on the ideals of religious freedom, this project is about interrogating the relationship between the church and America.
God's gonna build up a church where the roof is never leaking. God puts his hand in the dirt in the spiritual burns us down. Brick by brick, stone by stone. He'll build a church with a wall. He'll build a church with a wall that will never come down. Oh, watch him go, the strong men of Jericho.
Oh, do they know man can't build to the sky?
God's strong and sound, that brass breaks it down, and there's freedom.